All right, guys, welcome back. Go ahead and open up your book to page 521 and go to section 7.2 on page 521. This is lesson 2, congruency. And actually, this first entire page we're just going to kind of skip over. It has some stuff, but it's really just going to take up some time. The meat of the lesson is on the next page. So go ahead and turn to the next page. In this part in pink here, I'm actually going to combine this part up here in pink with example 1 below, kind of all at the same time. So here's some things I want you to think about and kind of outline. This symbol right here, that one right there, it's an equal sign with a squiggly over the top, and that means congruent. Okay? So anytime you see that, you know that the two things are congruent to each other. So that means triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Now here, order matters. So for example, it said A first here and D first there. Notice here angle A, which is first, has one little arc. That's what that's called, an arc. And D was first here, and it has the one little arc. Okay? Then B was second, which is the 90 degrees. And then here E was second, which was the other 90 degrees. So notice they're matching in order. And then last was C, it had the two little arcs. Last was F, it had the two little arcs. So order matters, okay? Now, those are what we call corresponding parts, okay? Let's look at example 1. Now here, it says make congruency statements, okay? Now, congruency statements simply mean basically the two things that make something congruent. The two things that make something congruent are same size and then same shape, okay? So the same shape is proven by all the angles being the same. The same size is proven by all of the sides being the same. So like here we have angle J is congruent to angle G. So what that means is that the one arc right here, J, matches up with the one arc here, angle G. Okay? So then angle L and I are together because L has two arcs and I has two arcs. Okay? And then angles K and H are corresponding because K has three arcs and H has three arcs, okay? Those little things here are called arcs. Now the lines, these dashes in the middle of the line segments are called ticks, okay? So that's like 3 ticks, 2 tick, 1 tick, and those match up. So let's look at this side here. It says side JK is congruent to side GH. So I look from J to K, and that's the 1 tick line, J to K. Then G to H is also the 1 tick line, so those are congruent. Now here order matters. So notice J is the single arc corner going to K, the 3 arc corner. J then K, 1 arc to 3 arc. So G and H here, notice G is 1 arc to H, the 3 arcs, okay? So it's 1 arc to 3 arc, just like that one was. So if I had something like this, where line JK is congruent to HG, H and then G, that would actually be wrong. That would be wrong because even though GH and HG are this same line, order matters. It was 1 arc to 3 arc, so it has to be 1 arc to 3 arc. I can't do 3 to 1. Okay, so order matters when you're doing these, and those are what we call congruent statements. It's the angles and the sides. So go up to example 2. Make the congruency statements for these right here. Be careful to make sure you have 2 90 degrees at the bottom. Make sure you match up P with either K or S. Check to make sure which one actually corresponds to P when you do that. Okay, so pause the video. Make those congruency statements now. Alrighty, if you should have now made those congruency statements. We'll check those tomorrow in class. Go ahead and look at the bottom of this page. This question is a 2-part question. It's first asking for the congruency statements, then it's asking what transformations map the parallelograms on top of each other. Okay, so here the congruency statements would be the same as these type of statements here. Do make sure when you make those it's clear which one's the angle statements, which one's the side statements. Make sure, by the way, bar goes over the top if you're doing a line. The angle in front of the letter if you're doing an angle. Angles just have one letter each, is where a line has two letters each. So make sure you remember that. So here, I'm not going to remake all the congruency statements. I'm simply going to point out that, I'm going to simply point out the transformation that needs to take place. Now, this triangle here is W, X, Y, Z. Oh, sorry, not triangle, parallelogram. This parallelogram is K, L, M, N. So that means W and K need to match up. So if I take this, how can I get this parallelogram to be on top of that one? Well, I could take that parallelogram, and I'm using my calculator as an example here, and I could rotate it around, okay, 180 degrees, and then slide it over. And those would be on top of each other. Well, here's the problem, though. W needs to line up with K. So if I have K here, and I rotate this around, okay, if I rotate that around, and actually I'm going to use the eraser. I think that'll make more sense. Currently on that red one, K is in this bottom right corner. And if I rotate it around, it ends up in the top left-hand corner there if I rotate it 180 degrees. Well, then if I slide it over, K isn't still in this top left corner, but it needs to match up with W, which is in the top right corner. So a rotation with a slide will not work. So then I can go, okay, well, what are my other options? Well, if I reflect it up, notice K is in the bottom right corner here. If I reflect it up, it ends up being in the top right-hand corner, which is where W's at. So if I do a reflection and then slide it over, that would work. So it's a three-part question. Congruency statements, list the sides. Congruency statement, list the angles. That's the second part. Third part is listing the transformation. It would be a reflection and then a slide. All right? So that's basically the main point of today's stuff. Come tomorrow with any questions that you have.